So, what,
Yeah.
what kind of stories stood out to you while you're reaching, and just stuff that changed the way you parent, on a
Yeah.
daily
Yeah.
basis? Like,
Sure.
because I know when you read these lives, like sometimes you get these little nuggets and it hits you and it just stays with you, not just for a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
hours, but for a lifetime. So what kind
Yeah.
of things do you find that really
Sure.
pivoted the way you parented?
Yeah. There's two neat stories. One is, as being a married layman, I wanted to make sure to add those saints in there. So Saint Thomas More, and his father was a lawyer, and his father never like necessarily, he kind of directed him. He said, "Hey, you'd be a good lawyer," but didn't like pressured him. Thomas More at one point was going to be a Carthusian monk, but Thomas More loved his father's blessing, and it said like he would walk in front of his dad. I think his dad became a magistrate, and he would walk in front of his dad's office every day, even if it was like from the balcony or outside. He would ask for his father's blessings. He would just kneel down, and his dad would give him a blessing. And I think as men, as fathers, being the domestic priest of our home, it's something that I've done is, when my son goes to bed, I give him a sign of the cross. I put my thumb on his forehead, and I give him a blessing. I try to, use holy water. And that's something that really stuck with me, just how the importance of a blessing is from a dad. And we see that also in, when Saint Therese went to the convent, she asked for her father's blessing, and he was in tears, and he's like, "Of course, I would love to give you that blessing." So that was really that's something that jumped out at me. And the other thing was Alberto Beretta, Saint Gianna's father. Like every time when he would come home from work, when they'd have a family dinner, they'd all sit down together, and he would ask about the children's day. And if there was any, if the kids were acting up, he would correct them. And he just loved being present with his children. And I think in our day and age, there's a great temptation where we don't even have family meals and we don't even know our children. We're spending more time watching TV than we're with our kids, and our kids vice versa. And he knew about his children, and then he would go afterwards, after dinner, he'd go smoke a cigar, and his one of his children would play the piano or the violin. And that really struck me, just to really get to know my kids. I told my wife recently, I'm just, when I come home, I put my phone in the drawer, and if I put it on, if there's a phone call, I'll pick it up, but like texting, I'm just going to wait for my son to go to bed. It's more important that I give them the time that they deserve. As my friend Devin Shad, who he's a good friend, he says, give your children FaceTime. And so
Yeah.
the real FaceTime.
The real time. Not on the phone.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when you mention that blessing. I remember a year or two ago, I spoke at a men's conference, and there are probably 1,500 men in the audience. And I said, I'm just curious. I've never asked this before. Could you just raise your hand if your father blessed you? If your father physically put his hands upon your head, traced the sign of the cross upon you, and gave you his fatherly blessing? How many of you have received that in your lifetime? Over 1,500 men, I could literally count on one hand how many men in that room had been blessed by their fathers. I mean, and this is diabolical. I mean, with no exaggeration, because when you read the patriarchal blessings of the Old Testament, of the fathers upon the sons, conferring the birthright and the blessing, like something's going on here ontologically that changes and bends the shape of history of that child when the blessing is conferred upon him. And you read how, like, I bless you and this is going to happen in your life and that, and boom, it happens. Like there's something going on, not only in the blessing of a priest, but in the blessing, as you said, of a domestic priest of his father. So we have to place our hands upon our children. And I think they like just the touch of this whole thing, the hands, the holy water, if you got incense, whatever, but they need to feel the blessing of the Father. And sometimes when we haven't been blessed, we just don't think to pass it on. And so I think it's an awesome point. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.